Hi friends, welcome back. Last time I talked to you about visionary dreams and how important they are to give you a vision for your life. So today I want to talk about visions because they are different. And since I just had one last night, I figured I would talk about that and share my vision with you and the meaning of it. So real quick, there are like awake visions that you have when you're awake, and then there are night visions, and I want to talk about night visions and then how they're different from dreams. And then of course there's also trances, which happened in the Bible. And right away, let's just get the trance out of the way because I've never had a trance, so I'm not one to talk about it. I don't know anything about it other than I've read about it in the Bible where it happened to people. But as far as visions and dreams and how they're different, I think sometimes they can be very confusing. And so I just wanted to address it because they are, different. Now, real quick, the visions that happen when you're awake, and a lot of Christians I've met, well, not a lot, but several people I've met claim to have visions when they're awake. They're called open visions, and sometimes in prayer they'll be praying and they'll see something. Now this, it's happened to me because we all have an imagination and we can all see things in our mind's eye, and it's up to you to discern whether you think that's from God or if it's just like your own imagination. And for me, especially when I was like a new believer, it was just very confusing because I didn't trust my visions, because I didn't know whether it was just my own imagination or whether I was really hearing from God. And I have a very vivid imagination, so a lot of times, my visions might not be what's actually true. And so I have not trusted my visions when I'm awake. Okay. And to give you a perfect example of that, I'll explain. So I remember once I was on an airplane and it was kind of turbulent. We were getting ready to land into Salt Lake City Airport, and I was having visions of crashing into the lake. Those were clearly terrible visions, right? So I was just scared and whatever. So you can see how are you to depend on the visions that you get when you're awake? I'm not going to say anything against that because maybe people are very mature believers and they have that discernment and that gift. I know that's not my gift. Okay. So I'm not going to speak on open visions, but I do know about night visions. Okay, so night visions, I do trust those. I have had night visions for a long time, and they're not as common as just a normal dream. Like, they don't happen as often, obviously, but they have never been wrong. Like, the messages I've gotten in them are very accurate in my life. So let me explain the difference between them. So night visions tend to happen more when you're kind of like in this wake and sleep state. Like, you're a little bit awake, maybe right when you're waking up or right when you're falling asleep. They usually will wake you up if you have one, like say even in the middle of the night, it'll kind of wake you up. But it tends to happen more in the morning as you're waking up, and you will just see something. Unlike a dream where, there's action going on, it's sort of just the difference, some people explain it like the difference between a still photograph and like a movie. So a dream is more involved. There's, people, characters, it's longer. But a vision is something where you see something. And there can be movement in the vision, things can be moving, but it's a very quick, short picture of something happening. And there's usually a distinct message that comes with it. You do have to, it doesn't come right away. You may need to pray about it and really like meditate on it for a while to understand it. But there's other times where the message is just super clear and easy and you pick up on it right away. So, for example, I'm going to give you a couple examples of visions I've had. So I had one vision where I saw like a plant that had outgrown its pot, and then there was just an empty pot next to it. It was really a pretty large plant, house plant, and that was all I saw. And when I woke up, I knew the meaning meant that that plant was me and that God was going to enlarge me. I was ready to grow. I was growing, so it was time to, and I kind of felt like the pot represented just my current life and situation. Like there was going to be some changes and some growth in my life. Then there was another one where it was kind of really disturbing. I just opened my eyes and I saw like this race car, like a sports car, like speeding to me, like it was going to hit me, and I was just open my eyes and see this like red sports car coming towards me. And that was scary, but I knew that in the dream, God was basically revealing to me that there were some powerful spiritual forces coming against me. And it was just preparation to, face that, because you have to be like prepared. You have to know like what spiritual season you're in and what's happening. So in that time, it was just like a warning to just really tell me what was going on and, prepare myself to endure that season of time. The vision that I had that was a very powerful one, that I, could say was like a visionary dream type thing, but it was more in the category of a vision because of the fact that I just saw something, And in this vision, I was up in the sky, okay? And before me was an open door. And there was just like blue, sunny, white puffy clouds. I mean, it was just a beautiful day in the sky, and before me was this open door, and that's all the vision was. And I understood that vision, right away, which was that I was having open doors represent like access. So it was like God was giving me access into divine things. I was able to see things about spiritual things, but also it really gave me hope because it was very bright and sunny and happy. So it's like I knew God had this bright future for me, right? And that dream was really interesting because I got that dream at a time in my life where I feel like I had grown to a spiritual place where my motives had been really like purified, okay? And obviously, I mean, we always have issues and we're never just like pure, completely pure. But I had come to a place in my life where it was like no longer this like selfish ambition where everything was all about me kind of thing and what I want and all that. But I had really come to this place of surrender where I was like, okay, God, whatever you want from me, that's what I want. And I had really like let go of selfish ambition and all the things that I thought I wanted out of life. Okay. So that dream came at a very interesting time in my life. Now, I'm not saying that means like that there's no ambition left in your life. It's actually totally opposite for that. There was even more ambition than before, but it was just different. It wasn't about building up like my kingdom and how we have all these ideas of what we want our life to be. But it was an ambition that came more from like just wanting to become the person that God created me to be and to fulfill my destiny and to, just to be like the full expression of who I was created to be, and to do whatever it was, carry out whatever it was that God would have me carry out in this life. Sort of like, like a flower wants to bloom. So we're created for something, and we should want to be the full expression of that. So I'm not saying like that means like you're not going to want to achieve anything. Don't misunderstand me. It just means, obviously, you know what I'm talking about, that all of a sudden what you thought you wanted is not your driving force in life anymore. You've got something greater purpose, And so I had that dream, and it has been a very, powerful vision in my life, that at times when things were like bad per se, I just would think about that and remember, no, God, has good things in my future. And we need those reminders. And it could fall into that category of the visionary dream as well. But anyway, guys, so I wanted to tell you about the one I had this morning, which was really great. Or I think it was great. We'll see what you think. But anyway, as I was waking up this morning, it's funny because it was not even that big of a vision per se, that I didn't see anything, but what I felt this wind, like I was outside and there was just this wind that had just started to pick up. And that was it. That was the vision. And that makes it a vision because, again, it's not like in a dream where there's different things happening and then you have to kind of interpret like the beginning, middle, and end, of the dream. It's like just a quick few seconds thing, that comes before you. That's what the night vision is. And as I was waking up, and this does not happen all the time. So in this vision from this morning, it was like all of a sudden this wind just picked up and was like blowing on me. But it was a nice wind. It was a welcome wind, kind of like the winds we're having right now in the fall, when the air starts to get a little bit cooler and you've had this hot, oppressive heat, and then all of a sudden the wind starts to, usher in fall, and you get this nice, refreshing wind. That's what it was like. And so, the message in the dream is clear, and that is, you're in a new season. Things are changing. You're in a new season. And so anyway, that was just, the message in this vision. And there's always a message in the vision if you can understand it, or at least I believe there is. But anyway, I just wanted to ask you, what can you discern what season you're in spiritually? Because I think these visions, that's what they do. Just like mine this morning said, hey, you're in a new season. The winds of change are coming. And again, it was from what I got, it was a good, pleasant wind. It wasn't like a tornado or like those just powerful, strong winds of adversity. I've also experienced those kind of dreams. But anyway, I just wanted to see, have you ever had a vision where there's a clear message? And again, it just orients you spiritually to know what season you're in and what's going on, and whether you need to, brace yourself for battle, like the one with the race car coming at me, or whether it's something else is going on in your life. But that is the difference between a night vision and just a typical dream. And of course, I'm not one to talk about, trances. I've never experienced that. I'm not going to say they don't happen. Of course, the Bible talks about them happening. And I've just never met anyone that's had that happen. And just regular visions, I don't really, again, put a lot of confidence in that. I'm not saying that it can't happen. I'm not going to judge people and what they hear from God. That's between them and God. I just know that for me, my visions come in the night, and they are very valuable tools to know what's going on with your life. So guys, I hope that's been helpful. I was actually planning today to do a video about the meaning of animals in dreams, because a lot of people have animal dreams, you know. But since I had this vision thing on my mind and it kind of went with last time's video, I thought I would do that instead. But if you have any animals that have shown up in your dreams and you want to know the meaning of them, message me or something and I can include it in the video that I make about meaning of animals. So until next time, guys, be blessed. Bye-bye.